back to the channel. Today we're going to unravel some incredibly complex events in Genoa. Rumors are circulating around the Newman family, but what's the truth? In this video, I'll summarize the plot points that will be revealed in the next episode. Stay tuned to see what happens.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel for another massive update. Today is just a crazy day full of wild twists and turns. We have some incredibly shocking news to break down right now. So grab a snack and settle in because the drama in Genoa City is absolutely exploding today. Let us just jump straight into the madness without any delay. So we have to talk about Jack Abbott. And honestly, the guy is just a total mess right now because he has been running himself ragged trying to save Diane Jenkins. We all know Patty Williams totally outsmarted him and Kyle. Patty warned Dr. Markham. And then Markham moved Diane to some new secret location. So Jack is just completely exhausted. He is panicking. Kyle is breathing down his neck and demanding drastic action. Jack is basically walking around like a zombie at this point. His brain is just fried from all the stress and the kidnapping drama. But sometimes, when you are not looking for anything at all, you stumble onto the biggest secret in the world. And that is exactly what just happened to Jack. Jack is just wandering around, probably trying to clear his head or figure out his next move against Patty. And he happens to walk by Nikki Newman's suite. Or maybe a private room at the GCAC. It doesn't even matter where exactly, because what matters is what he hears. He stops dead in his tracks, because he hears voices. And not just any voices, he hears Victoria Newman. And Victoria is crying, like really sobbing, pleading with her mother, so Jack just stands there outside the door. He shouldn't be listening, but he can't help it, because the tone of Victoria's voice is just so desperate, and Jack knows something is horribly wrong. And then Jack hears the medical details. He hears Victoria begging Nikki to tell Victor the truth, because the situation is critical. Nikki is talking about her diagnosis, the brain tumor, the pressure on her optic nerve, the fact that she is going blind, but it is so much worse than just blindness. Jack stands there frozen as he realizes that Nikki is terminally ill, like she doesn't have much time left to live. The doctors have basically given her a death sentence, and Jack is just processing this because despite everything, despite all the hatred he has for Victor right now, Jack still cares about Nikki. He always has. But then the conversation shifts. And this is the part that is going to break the internet. Because Nikki is frantic. She is talking about her will. She is talking about protecting her kids. And then she drops a bombshell that absolutely shatters reality. Nikki tells Victoria that Victor is not her biological father. Yeah. You heard me right. Victor Newman is not Victoria's real dad. And Jack is just standing outside the door, probably forgetting how to breathe, because this is the biggest secret in the history of Genoa City. Let us just pause and think about this for a second, because my mind is totally blown. Victoria Newman, the golden child, the heir to the Newman throne, the woman who has literally modeled her entire life and personality after Victor. She is not his blood. And Nikki has kept this secret for decades. So who is the father? We don't even know yet. But the fact that Nikki is confessing this right now, on her literal deathbed, it changes everything we thought we knew about this family. And Jack is the one who overhears it. Of all people, Jack Abbott, Victor's ultimate enemy. So Jack is just glued to the floor outside this room. He is listening to Nikki pour her heart out. And Victoria is probably just as shocked, or maybe she is just overwhelmed by the fact that her mother is dying. But Jack is taking all of this in. And you would think that a guy like Jack, a guy who has been tortured by Victor, a guy who was kidnapped and drugged on a yacht because of Victor, you would think Jack would use this secret to destroy his enemy. Because this is the ultimate weapon. Jack could walk right into Newman Enterprises and blow Victor's life into a million pieces. He could ruin the Newman legacy forever. But that is not what happens. And this is why we love Jack. Because the anger just drains out of him. The hatred for Victor suddenly feels so stupid and pointless. Jack realizes that none of the corporate wars matter. The feud doesn't matter. Because Nikki is dying. The woman he used to be married to, the woman he loved, she is fading away. And she is carrying this massive, heavy, terrifying secret. Jack is just stunned. He is completely paralyzed by the weight of what he just heard. And you have to look at Jack's psychology here, because he has been so consumed by Diane. He has been so obsessed with Patty and the kidnapping. But hearing Nikki's frail voice, hearing her talk about not having much time left, it snaps Jack back to reality. It makes him realize how fragile life really is. He starts having all these flashbacks, just standing there in the hallway, remembering all the complex history he shares with Nikki. Because their past is so deep, they have been lovers. They have been enemies. They have been best friends. They have supported each other through addiction and heartbreak. Jack remembers the good times. He remembers when they were happy. Before, Victor always found a way to ruin it. But he also realizes that Nikki is terrified. She is terrified of Victor finding out the truth about Victoria. She is terrified of losing her sight. She is terrified of dying. And Jack just feels this overwhelming wave of compassion. The old Jack might have schemed. But this new Jack, this exhausted, heartbroken Jack, he just wants to help her. He realizes that he cannot let Nikki go through this alone. So what does Jack do now? Because he can't just walk away and pretend he didn't hear anything. But he also can't just bust into the room and say he knows the biggest secret of their lives. Jack is in a really weird position. He has to figure out a way to be there for Nikki without exposing the fact that he was eavesdropping. And he has to do it while Victor is running around like a maniac trying to find an experimental surgery for Nikki. Victor is already suspicious. If Victor sees Jack hanging around Nikki right now, Victor is going to lose his mind. But Jack doesn't care about Victor's wrath anymore. He really doesn't. The bombshell about Victoria's paternity just proves to Jack that Victor's whole life is built on lies anyway. Jack knows that Victor's world is going to collapse eventually, but right now, Jack's only priority is Nikki. He wants to do something for her before it is too late, because the clock is ticking. Nikki's health is deteriorating super fast, and Jack wants to give her some kind of peace, some kind of comfort in her final days. And you have to wonder how this is going to affect Jack's search for Diane, because Kyle is going to be so confused. Kyle wants Jack to be 100% focused on finding Diane and taking down Dr. Markham and Patty. But now, Jack's attention is going to be split. He is going to be distracted by Nikki's tragedy. And if Diane ever finds out that Jack was spending time worrying about Nikki while she was locked up in some secret location, Diane is going to be furious. Diane already hates the connection between Jack and Nikki. This is just going to make things so much worse for their marriage. But Jack can't help himself. He is drawn to people who are hurting, and Nikki is hurting more than anyone right now. The burden of the Victoria secret is probably what is making Nikki so sick. The stress of carrying that lie for so many years. It has to be eating her alive. And Jack knows what it is like to carry heavy secrets. He knows what it is like to feel trapped. So he is going to step up. He is going to drop his vendettas. He is going to put the Abbott and Newman war on hold. At least in his own heart. We are about to see a completely different side of Jack. A softer, more reflective Jack. He is going to look at Victor differently now too. Because instead of just hating